Hello and welcome to Survivor Everything. I'm your host, Liam, and now that we've gotten the merge and the very disappointing and always expected post-merge split tribal of the new era, I can now talk about how I feel about the first half of this season so far, and what I think the final three is going to be. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
To start things off, I think we all thought we were going to get another disaster tribe like Lulu or Yanu, and even though Vula did turn out to be a complete mess this season, they were the best disaster tribe that we've gotten so far in the new era. Sure, the Yanu tribe had the amazing Q on it, and it also had the winner of the season on it, but most of the personalities I found were bland, even Tiff, and those first few episodes of season 46 can feel like an absolute drag with it being completely Banu focused. Not with Siva though. Cedric is a chaotic player who can change on a whim, stays a modern villain on the same tier as Rome, marries a ball of energy ready to survive and play this game hard, and even the voted out contestants had great praise among them. Though I never got the Stephanie hype, and I expect her to be eliminated early in the game, and you can see this in my cast assessment, but most people had high hopes for her. I think Kevin came in wanting to play the sneaky game and had the urge to blindside someone, but ironically got himself voted out the game instead. And though Justin didn't have much but pizza analogies and clothing, he was twist screwed by losing his vote from a game of Yahtzee. Even though Justin plays this round bad, he does have the correct reads here, and I just think that he didn't implement them properly. Siva was just a mess of a tribe, but a level of mess, and that made the first 4 out of 5 boots just really fun to watch. The only early merge boot that an original Siva member had nothing to do with was the too gone, too soon Thomas Krininger, my winner pick of this season. I really hope that Jeff does decide to bring Thomas back, like Jeff mentioned, since Thomas is the strategic villain with the compelling confessionals that this new era needs. We have character villains like Q, Rome, and Say, who are all amazing and out in the open for everyone to see, but I want the conniving, mustache-twirling villain who is more subtle and working behind the scenes as well, but always letting the audience know on their dastardly deeds. The Logi tribe was soaring high pre-merge, with it clearly being the strongest team, and they were not going to go to Tribal Council pre-merge due to their tribe strength and challenges. Unfortunately for Logi though, Survivor 48 is one of the 2 new era seasons with a legit tribe swap, and this sends 2 original Logi members home back-to-back before the merge, including Thomas. And seeing him suggest things like throw away Stars Beware advantage clue, which is something that would never even cross my mind because how dirty of a play it is, but then it wraps back around to being a genius play that I'm now jealous that I wasn't evil enough to think about it on my own. These are the type of players that I want in the game. I will say, it was Thomas's own fault that he went home, since it literally wouldn't have mattered if Camilla or Kyle had played their idol, the extra vote advantage, or both at the same time, since if Thomas had just played his steal a vote, the California Girls Alliance could have just split the votes evenly on Camilla and Kyle, and then on the revote, even if the idol is played, one of Camilla or Kyle goes home. Tisk tisk on Thomas. Now we can finally move on to the merge. Shockingly, for one of the most anticipated episodes of the season, it was a more lackluster one as well. We're all excited as an audience, and the players are clearly excited, game-wise, that it's the merge, merge with an asterisk, and that the next stage of the game can begin. This first merge episode was really more about the players getting more character moments than anything, with this episode being very cut and dry strategically, with the vote very clearly being Say or Charity throughout the episode, and since Charity has gotten no favors from the edits so far the entire season, it's pretty hard to believe that Say's the one going here. With that said, some of the character moments are really well done. Say felt like the second coming of Abby Maria, with how Say could not stop talking about how good the food reward was and clearly being very obnoxious about it. And Cedric breaks down for a moment after his abysmal failure in the previous reward/immunity challenge, all while Star steps up and gets real screen time to comfort him. Star in the last 2 episodes is really showing that she still believes in its original Logi sentiment of loyalty and honesty, and Shaheen, Joe, and Eva all share the same sentiment as well, and this could get these 4 really far this post-merge game. Though I'm not a big fan of having these weird merge-a-tories and split tribals and such at the start of the merge section of the game in the new era, I am happy with the decision to make this basically like a normal merge boot, with only one player being immune instead of a whole group or something, and everyone still gets to participate and vote in the same tribal council. Charity is booted here, and it was clear how it was all her own fault. On the original Siva tribe, she makes enemies immediately, only securing an ally in Mitch, and then when she switched onto the newly formed Logi tribe, she starts to target Eva by going to her original tribe mate Star. As I've already stated, Star is loyal to original Logis, including Eva, so now Charity has just let Eva and her allies know that Charity's coming for them, causing Charity to make even more enemies from different tribes right before the merge. By the time everyone's together, their target is on an easy vote and the person who no one's getting along with, similar to the Rome boot in Survivor 47. I wish this could have been a more explosive merge, but I'm not shocked by them just going with the easy route this round. It did make for good TV, though, with Mitch's reaction losing his closest ally.
Alright, for the final episode to talk about, let's talk about the split tribal council that's come about every new era post-merge. I find a lot of them have given unfair balances that people have gotten voted out, and I mean, like, it's been very clear throughout the vote-out history for the entire show. You know, I had a conversation with my twin, and I was talking about Cedric here, and one thing about Cedric that I said was that he was really insulated and safe throughout the entire game, but this split tribal. Not a single vote came his way post-merge, once they all got together, except for Say, and that's kind of bound to happen with her, which is why he should have cut her before, but that's not here or there. When it came to Cedric, his gameplay was pretty subpar, I guess, but at the same time, it was good. He was insulated and safe, as I said, on every tribe he was on. If it was the post-merge tribe, or if it was the original Vula tribe. Everyone came to him to give him information. Everybody thought that Cedric was likable, trustable. They respected him. It was something about his age, his profession. I don't know what it was, but people really did respect and trust Cedric. And with that, Cedric was the person that a lot of people were going to try to steer the votes for. I mean, Cedric was the head of the vote towards the Bianca one. Cedric was the anchor to not only the original Vula tribe, but also the newly formed Siva tribe. And Cedric was not going anywhere, even post-merge immediately. There was a lot of bigger threats to go. Immediately with this episode, we get the vote off of Say and Cedric inside the split tribal that I hate. And I'm going to put it out there right now, and everybody can know it. I do not like this format. I think it is just ridiculous once we get to post-merge where we're splitting people up like it is a pre-merge tribal council. I will say at this merge episode and this post-merge split tribal episode, it all really just feels like setup for what we're going to get in the final post-merge of the season, which hopefully it's all very exciting, and I'm assuming it's going to be. But I'll admit, these last two episodes, a bit lackluster and a bit straightforward from its storytelling.
Alright, let's talk about the 3 players I think are going to make it to Final Tribal Council.
Who I think is going to get third place is Shaheen. Shaheen has been a major focus of almost every single episode, if he's been on the bottom side of it or on the upside. Shaheen is someone who we hear from in every single aspect of the game. If it's strategic, emotional, how he feels about his tribe mates, or how his tribe mates feel about him, there's a lot of stuff that we get specifically about Shaheen. The only thing about it as well is that compared to my next 2 finalists, Shaheen has gotten a more negative edit than all of them, and maybe the whole idea of that negative edit is that even though we can relate more to Shaheen, it's hard to see how other people in a 26-day span want to vote for him to win $1 million. Compared to my next 2 finalists, Shaheen is just the most, I guess you would say, unlikable to the rest of the cast in Season 48, and because of that, he gets third place.
Next up, I think, is getting second place is David Kane. This could seem like a wild one, since David seems like a huge threat that would be eliminated just late merge, early merge. But his milk content seems to be in the same taste as Sam's lies about not have eaten most fruits before. It's more character content and a character trait to latch onto them, to like them, but it's nothing overly strategic for us to think that this could be considered gameplay content to understand how they won the game or how they won the season. But it's nothing overly strategic for us to think that this could be considered gameplay content for the winner of the season as well, because it has no correlation on how he wins the game here. I heard some people say it could be like a D's big toe moment from Survivor 45, which was character content that was attributed to the winner of the season, but David doesn't strike me as that. He will be on the right side of votes. People will want to work with him, and I think he will get some votes at the end, maybe 1, maybe 2, but I just don't see him winning the game, especially if he's up against the person that I think who will. The person who I think will win this game, since Thomas unfortunately can't, and that's Joe Hunter, the firefighter with a big heart. Even though Joe did get 0 confessionals during the episode prior to the merge, which is usually a death sentence for anybody that's going to be a winner for the show, but he was heavily part of the episode still, and it was an episode that Joe's tribe didn't have to go to tribal council for, so it makes sense that he would get less screen time. Other than that, Joe's gotten consistent content that makes him seem noble and rootable, and his story for getting on the show will surely win over hearts. Joe's a strong competitor, and I could see him being on the right side of every majority vote, while at the end, being seen as the leader or head of a majority alliance that steamrolled it. The game that Joe wants to play is to have a heavy, loyal majority, duke it out like proper men and women when it's just the majority left in the game, and then basically let the most deserving win the game and have a cakewalk there. You can kind of think about, Survivor Season 10, Palau, how Tom Westman won the game. And he has been playing it successfully, but it's the game he wants to play, and he has been playing it perfectly so far. Joe was my second winner pick of this preseason to win, and he was lots of people's main winner pick due to preseason interviews and trailers, and so far, it's been spot on. If it does pan out this way, the pre-merge of this season will be much more fun than the post-merge, but this is shaping up to be a great season of Survivor overall. Thank you everyone for watching, If you made it this far, why not leave a like and subscribe for more Survivor content every week? Let us know in the comments below how you think the season is so far, and who do you think is going to win it all? Everybody grab your torches. I'll see you in the next one.